everyone, this is Jessica Marino with another episode of the Equip Show, and I have a new nonprofit with me today. This is Jerry Ratonia from Gameday. He is the founder, and he is going to tell us all about what they do and how we can get involved. Jerry, how are you today?
I'm doing very good. Thanks so much for having me on your program, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to learn with everybody else too. I purposely saved this so I could learn. So we're going to just dive right in.
Great.
Jerry, tell us, how did you decide to start this? Where did this come from?
So the idea came from when I would go to football games for the last 13 years or so, and I would notice how many open seats there are out in the stands. And it really bothered me for a really long time. I would think to myself that there are so many people who can't afford to attend the sporting events, and these tickets are just going to waste. So after quite a few years of complaining about it and letting it bother me, I decided to do something about it.
Good for you.
And that's when I started Gameday.
Awesome. So what is your guys' overall mission?
So the overall mission, it's sort of in the elevator pitch. What we do is we provide access to live sporting events for families that might otherwise miss out. And we do that by providing tickets for families in need to sporting events.
That's awesome. Now, what is kind of the big vision of where you guys are going?
So right now we're very localized. We have local sponsors, local donators, local nonprofits we work with, and then local recipients of the tickets.
Okay.
And then they're obviously going to local sports teams. I envision us having a chapter in other cities around the Midwest that do exactly what we do. I can't see any future where we don't have a local presence in a community, because it's about building relationships.
Absolutely. So I'm interested, and I know everyone else is, how do you select these families? Can you walk us through that entire process?
Sure. So when I started the organization, I thought the hardest part was going to be getting people to donate tickets, but the hardest part has been finding recipients for those tickets and people in need and whatnot. So I had a thought that maybe I should start building relationships with other nonprofits in the Omaha area. They help me build relationships with their organizations. So when I have tickets, I contact those contacts I have. They know the stories of the people they serve. They know their situations and whatnot. So they know who's quote unquote deserving or not. So they help me place the tickets with families who are in need.
Okay. And are they tickets for the entire family?
It depends. Sometimes it could be 2, sometimes it could be 4. It depends. It all depends on what is donated. There's been times when we've been able to send an entire family to their very first Husker game or whatnot.
Oh, that's exciting.
Or a senior who may be going through some illnesses or whatnot. But then there's been other times where we get tickets where I donated them to Big Brothers and Big Sisters, where the big brother takes their little, I think that's what they call them, to a game and whatnot. So it just depends on how the tickets are donated and how many there are.
Okay. Do you find that there's one sport or team over the other that seems to come through the donations?
Right off the bat, it was Nebraska football, but it does. But as I've been building more relationships, we've been getting tickets in for Creighton basketball, a lot of UNO tickets. I thought that I have a friend who donated a bunch of his women's basketball UNO tickets, and I thought, I don't know if I'm going to place these, because my assumption is that most people aren't following women's basketball, but
not as much as some others.
Not as much as some others, exactly. That's a better way to put it. I contacted my contact at Girls Inc., and they snatched them all up. So all these girls wanted to go see a college basketball game, and it's changing my mind about how I look at sports and who follows sports. I'm looking at it from a male perspective, and I need to look at it from a more holistic perspective and understand there's so many different types of sports fans, male, female, and what they like to go to. So I'm learning as well.
I love that. Have you had requests come in for any specific team or sport?
Yes. So I have a relationship with Dreamweaver, and they had a request come in for a senior who has life-limiting illnesses, and they were looking to get him to a Nebraska game. He wanted to go to one more Nebraska game with one of his buddies and his caregiver, and I did everything I could, but eventually I had someone come in at the 11th hour and donate 3 tickets. The catch was they needed tickets that were wheelchair accessible, so that was very hard to find. But we found him. We got him to the game. He thanked me and sent me some pictures. It was a really good moment, and it just made me feel great that we were able to make his dream come true.
Absolutely. I hope you carry that with you forever, because that is such a such a good feeling.
It's rewarding.
That
it's very rewarding.
Rewarding is a good word for it.
Yes.
Do you get to see the impact with a lot of the families? Do they all send you pictures?
Not always. I try to get pictures because I feel like it's really good for our mission, so other people can see that we are actually doing good in the community. These are real people being impacted in a real way, but I don't always. Sometimes I don't hear anything back, but I really try. A lot of times the contact I have at the nonprofit that's helping me with the connection will email me or text me and say, hey, they had so much fun and whatnot. So I do get some feedback. I'd like to have more, but it's not always possible.
It's not as black and white as we want it to be, right?
I wish it was, but it's not. And that's okay. I'm about providing the experience, and if the feedback's not there, it's okay. I know my organization is doing something good for the community.
Absolutely. Well, and because you mentioned community, I know that you guys do community events.
Yes. That's right.
So I think you have one coming up, right?
We do. Okay. So we are doing the first annual Share Gameday Kickball Classic and Family event. The event is going to be August 9th at Brookhaven Park, which is off 115th and Harrison area.
Okay.
We're going to be doing some free activities. One of them is the kickball game. Anybody can show up and just participate in that.
I don't have to be good at kickball?
You don't have to be good at kickball. Yes. We're doing live music, so anyone can show up and just listen to some live music, acoustic.
Cool.
We're giving away some free hot dogs, but then we also have other activities that you'll have to buy tickets to participate in. We're having an ice cream truck there, so you can buy ice cream. We're having a cakewalk, a dime toss, a hoop shot.
Have sold so fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cakewalk got me.
Yes, and others as they come in. We're still trying to get volunteers to help us out to run the event and send donations of maybe Gatorade or bottled water or things like that will help us run the event. So that's it. We're still looking for participants as well as just spreading the word. Come show up and spend a day connecting with your community.
I love that. Well, and who doesn't love a fun family day?
I don't know.
Right? You have to go. It's fun and family friendly.
Exactly.
So you said you're looking for volunteers for that. What do those kind of duties look like? And are there any other opportunities throughout the year?
Sure. So right now we don't have any other activities or events coming up. This is the only one we have coming up.
Okay.
But as far as duties at this specific event, we're looking for a few more people to help us run some of the booths. We're looking to do a face painting booth. We don't have anyone to run that yet. We're looking to do a ring toss. We don't have anyone to run that yet. And we may just be looking for people to help us set up and tear down, as well as maybe just be a floater to give someone a break from their booth so they can use the restroom, get something to drink, take a rest. Yes, exactly. So we're looking for more people to help out. And if that doesn't work out, just help us spread the word. That's the biggest thing, is just getting the word out there of the organization.
Absolutely.
And then the final thing is you can just attend with your family, have a good day out.
Yeah.
And those are the main things you can do to participate right now.
Well, those sound like easy things to do.
I think so.
Yeah, everyone that's listening, go sign up, help out. Mark, if you're listening, Mark Wong, you know who you are. He's just an amazing volunteer. And then maybe if I have someone that wants to play with me, I'll go too. Yeah. I'm not good at kickball, so I don't know if we're doing teams. You don't want me on your team, but I'm a really good cheerleader.
It's going to be a very open, kind of floating around. Come play for a little while, go play something else. It's just going to be this fun thing for the kids to do if they choose to do so. So
yeah,
that's it.
Little bit of something for everybody.
Exactly.
I love that. And so you mentioned kind of going back that you're looking for some donations, Gatorades, waters, things like that. Are there other hurdles you guys are having as a nonprofit right now? Because it's a tough world.
It is. So I think I already touched on this. The first challenge I found was it's so much easier to find people that want to donate tickets instead of placing them. The placing them has been the hardest part. So we're always looking to make new relationships with other nonprofits that have people who might be less fortunate who can use these tickets.
Absolutely.
I've talked with so many organizations, and sometimes it's a fit and sometimes it's just not. But I would love to make more connections with other nonprofits. The other challenge I found is to make the right connections with people who might want to join our organization and help us out running the organization, potentially joining our board of directors. I've been looking for someone to help us with our finances and join the board in the role of treasurer. We are also looking for someone to help us with our social media, like a director of social media. And I struggle with the fundraising part, so I like guidance, help, anyone who might want to join and help out with fundraising.
Yeah.
I do IT, so I feel like I'm really good at the technical part, but one of the parts that has been a struggle as well is right now the ticket transfer from the donor to the recipient is all manual. So I get the ticket and I move it over. I know there's other organizations out there that have that automated, like VetTix. And from my perspective and just looking at the app a little bit, it looks like they have it figured out. But I also like some helping us figure out how we get more like VetTix, so the transfer of tickets is seamless and not this whole manual process.
Absolutely. So the families that are going back to kind of that placement of tickets part, are there certain credentials that those families need to have? Maybe credentials is the wrong word.
Criteria.
Thank you.
Sure.
That family needs to hit in order to be considered for the tickets?
We don't have any criteria right now. I rely on my contacts at the nonprofits I'm working with to identify families that they deem are in need or less fortunate or just deserving. They're going through a rough time. So no, there's no criteria. I don't think at any point we've had any family, use the tickets who have been affluent and been able to afford it themselves, and we're just handing them tickets. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm relying on these my contacts to make that call for me.
I'm sure they're pretty diligent in their thought process too.
I agree.
Good. Okay. And so treasurer, and then are there other board positions too that I missed?
Well, there's one other one. We're looking for a vice president to be. So right now we have a vice president that just recently left. We have a secretary, and then myself. I'm president, founder.
Okay. So big ones are treasury, social media, and possibly vice president.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I get them all right in my head. Sure. Okay. And then are there, for the vice president, are you looking for any specific experience?
I thought about that a long time before I started this organization, and I thought I may have them, but at this point, I don't think I do. I think I want someone who's passionate about the mission, who is willing to put in some work. I don't expect it to be their full-time job because they're not getting paid for it.
Right.
But someone who's passionate about the mission and is willing to put in the work to help move this organization forward.
Absolutely.
Ideally, I would love to have someone who's done what I'm doing before that can help guide me, because this is my first time, like I said, only a year and a half in, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But there's really no criteria. I just want someone who's about helping other people.
Absolutely. And a year and a half in, and you've already made an impact. How good does that feel?
It feels great, and I can share a little bit about that. So from last year to this year, we're already up 40% in ticket donations and, getting those over to recipients.
Wow.
Which is great. And we're only halfway through the year, so I feel like we are growing, and the mission is getting out there, and people are donating tickets. And I don't need to mention the number of tickets, but I try not to think about it in number of tickets. I try to think about it in number of lives that we are affecting and impacting, families we're impacting, and experiences we are giving to children and families that may not otherwise be able to get those experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. I know as a kid, I didn't go to a lot of events, but all the big highlights are events, right? Those are the moments that we really remember from childhood. Those big things that we did with family where it just stuck. Yeah. So I don't know if sports are ever my thing. I went to the circus a lot.
Sure.
But I just don't have a very athletic family.
Sure.
So hopefully my dad's not listening, because he would lie. He would say I'm lying. Okay. And then I just have been curious from the beginning. So this is a little off topic. But do you have a favorite sport?
I do. I think right now, just to spectate is football. When I was a kid, I really loved baseball. That was my favorite sport. And now I think my favorite sport, because I'm older, is golf, just because it's easier on the body. But if you don't mind, I'd like to share a story about
please.
I have a core memory of growing up and going to a game with my dad, and I feel like that's what makes me so passionate about this mission.
Please, I cannot wait to hear.
Okay, thanks.
No pressure.
So when I was growing up, like you, we didn't go to a lot of sporting events. We had food and clothes, and we had a roof over our head, so we were never in need, but we just didn't have that kind of income. So I remember one day my dad came home after work, and he told me he was taking me to an Omaha Royals baseball game the next day.
Okay.
And as I said previously, as a kid, I was so into baseball. I loved to play it. I loved to watch it on TV. So I was so excited. So the next day comes, and we drive to the game. And I remember when we got there, we walking down the steps in the stadium to our seats. And as a child, it's just such an awesome experience. I can smell the hot dogs and popcorn, and the players are out there, and they're huge compared, for a little
Right.
kid. And the grass is so green. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And for some reason, I was making it my mission that I was going to catch a foul ball, or at least get a foul ball.
Okay.
So the game goes on, and there's home runs hit and foul balls hit into other sections, but eventually a foul ball gets hit into our section. And I get up, and so are a whole bunch of other little kids. And for some reason, I get to it first, and I pick it up. And I was like ecstatic. It's like, oh my gosh, I got a foul ball.
Did it, yeah.
And I run back and I show my dad and sit down. And I just remember just like, it was up until that point in my life, it was the best experience of my life. So the game goes on. And again, there's other home runs hit to the outfield and other foul balls hit into other sections. Well, eventually another foul ball gets hit into our section. And I'm greedy. I want another one. So it's ricocheting off the seats. And again, I get it. And I pick it up and I said to myself, oh my gosh, I got 2 foul balls. I can't wait to show my friends. They're not going to believe this. Nobody ever gets 2.
Yeah.
Most people don't even get 1. And I run back and show my dad, and I sit down, and he kind of nudges me with his shoulder and kind of gestures over his shoulder. And I look back, and a few rows back, there's a kid sitting there with his dad, and his dad's got his arm around the kid, and the kid's crying. And I knew what my dad wanted me to do. I didn't want to do it, but I went and did it anyway. So I walked over to that kid's room, and I handed him one of my foul balls. And he changed immediately from just being so sad to being so happy. And I went back down and sat down next to my dad. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that simple gesture of kindness that my dad prompted me to perform made that kid's day at the ballpark as special as my day. My dad's no longer with us, but he was very kind and generous to other people. And he taught me a lesson that day. And I didn't understand when I was a kid, but as I got older, I realized that you should just be kind and generous to other people for no other reason than it's just the right thing to do.
Exactly.
And what I also realized is that kid is going to have that same core memory wherever he is now that I have. And my mission became, I want to give that experience to every kid in the world if I can.
Aww.
Whether it's baseball game, football, hockey, whatever. I want to give that family experience and that core experience for a kid to grow up and look back and go, my family took me to this game, and it was one of the best experiences of my life.
That's awesome. So you guys can't see from here, but like I teared up a little bit because
I'm getting a little
so
emotional
sweet.
Every time I talk about that.
And yes, that kid does have a core memory now of how awesome that day was, but his core memory might be even greater than yours because a stranger went out of his way to make sure. Yeah. And so I feel like there's another special layer there.
I agree.
That he wouldn't have had otherwise. So. Yeah. Good for you. Good for your dad for making you do it. Good man. So I'm going to wipe these away because anyone watching might know, like, I'm a crybaby. Everything gets to me. But every once in a while, one hits me just right where I can't hold it in on camera. Yeah. So way to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for sharing that story, though. I love stories of impact like that, right? Like, that's why we do the work we do. That's why we're in this industry.
Yep.
Like you said, for nothing else, just do the right thing, and it will come back, right? Or it will spread. It's contagious.
It is.
So I love that you're thinking about those things even now, years later, of how you can continue that mission. So truly beautiful. Do you have any other stories that come to mind that are going to make me cry? I have a few more tears left, so maybe,
Well, I don't know if I have any other tearjerker stories, but one of my favorite moments is being able to give my daughters their first game day experience to go to a Husker game. So my wife and I, we were fortunate enough as we got older to be able to be season ticket holder for Nebraska football. And I just remember taking them, and it reminded me of going to a game with my dad and just being able to experience that with my daughters was a great experience. And another note about my daughters. So our tagline is sharegameday.com. We're also .org. I need to get that all switched over to .org.
So you find them either way?
Yes, we can find it either way, sharegameday.com or org. But the tagline is, it's game day, baby. And
that's cute.
When I was younger, I was much more enthusiastic about Nebraska football. I simmered down a little bit in my older age. But every Saturday, I would go into my daughter's room when it was a Nebraska football game, and I'd open the door, and I'd ask them, hey, do you guys know what day it is today? And they go, what? And I'd scream, it's game day, baby.
Oh, that's fun.
For a while, they thought it was funny, but then after a while, it wasn't so much funny anymore. When I go in there, it's like, get out.
Right, Dad, saying it again.
So it just seemed right to have that excitement about game day. So when kids who maybe can't afford it are going to a game, you're waking up in the morning and you're happy because today's game day.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
I don't know why the baby came in, but that's
because they're your girls, they're your babies.
Probably.
So it just felt right.
It felt right in the moment, yeah. So that's our tagline.
That was awesome. Well, I hope that all these recipients are saying that.
I wish.
Right?
I wish
Maybe
they do, yeah.
with or without the baby.
Yes.
I hope they're at least cheering it's game day.
Yes.
Right. We have tickets. It's game day. Let's go. That is super fun, though. I love that there's a reason to have a tagline, too.
Yeah.
And it does fit really well, right? Like,
it does.
You get excited when you wake up and like, I have plans today.
Yeah.
Really fun
I think
plans.
so, yeah.
I love that. Well, I want to make sure we cover everything that we could possibly cover in these last few minutes.
Sure.
Is there anything we didn't hit on that you would like to share with us?
Sure. As I've been progressing in the mission of our organization, I've become acutely aware, or I recognize that there are a lot of nonprofit organizations in the Omaha area that provide basic human needs like food and shelter and clothing and emotional and mental well-being.
Yeah.
And I understand that those are very, very important. And obviously people can't survive without those things.
Yep.
But I also believe that if you're only having your basic needs met, that you're just surviving, you're not really living.
Yeah.
So what I believe is my organization can help provide experiences for families. So they're not just living day to day and just getting by day to day. They're having actual experiences with their family so they can feel like they're living and not just going day to day.
Yeah.
So that's just something I feel like I need to tell people because I feel like this kind of organization is like an add-on for other organizations that are providing those basic needs. It's just a supplement, just one more thing we can do for those families that are struggling.
Absolutely. I love the idea of it because, I personally agree with you. What's life if we're not having a little bit of fun?
Yeah.
And then when you're just surviving, you have this certain mentality where you're not able to thrive because you're so worried about, where are we going to get our next outfit or meal or ride or whatever it is.
Yes.
And so I do like that. And
Thank you.
Add-on, yes.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are so much more than that too. I really do.
Well, thank you.
So you guys heard it. If you're a nonprofit leader, reach out to Jerry. Help the families you're working with, just that little extra bit. If you're a volunteer, go check out the fun kickball game. And then we will have probably .org or whatever social media tagged in those posts so that you guys can go follow them, like them, share the mission. Thanks again for joining us and sharing what you guys do with us. Very excited to see where you end up in the next 5 years.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Thanks, guys.